Well, we're closing in on the last couple of days of chopping second cutting. Today is Monday, what is it, July 14th. We were on a farm that was the furthest farm from us to the north, about 5 miles from here. Rain showers all around. It rained hard at home. It rained intermittently here, over where Andrew was, over on another field a couple miles from here. And this was the field that we were going to come to next. It was about 5:30 last night. We just barely got done with the farm that we were on. I thought sure we were going to get rained out before we got done. However, Andrew had all this merged. And that windrow right there, Lucan's is just flipped over with the merger. You can kind of see that one's a little greener than these ones here. We're going to start chopping in about an hour. It's 11 o'clock right now. I've got to jog home, grab my inoculant. I moved the chopper to the farm that we're going to be on next. And it looks like this job might be giving him problems. It's not the easiest thing picking up these big windrows. Well, they're not that big, but it's not that easy picking up a merged windrow with the merger. It seems like that's working out pretty good for him. I told him sometimes it doesn't work that great straddling the windrow. I said try picking up on one head, one wing, but it looks like he's getting it here. Taking his time, not making any bunches on me. So on our way back to the farm, we're going to drive by a field that my nephew is cutting hay in. I hope he's there by now because I've got a brief moment to show you the hay cutting process. Now I don't have my drone with me. I was not prepared for this, and we're going to kind of kill 3 birds with 1 stone. We're checking this hay field on our way home, and we're going to get you guys some mower footage on the way home as well. So I'll get pulled out on this busy road here. This is Route 5. We are just west of Camellus, and we're just east of Elbridge. So we'll touch base with you when we get in the field where my nephew's cutting hay with the 8R 340. My brother said he's probably going to have to cut one way, so I'll at least be able to get you some footage as he's cutting down through the length of the field. So bear with me. Alright, so I lied. He's not here yet with that mower. So, this field up here was the field that he was going to be cutting in. But he hasn't made it here yet. So, maybe we'll get you some footage when I come back through with a silage truck. I think what I'm going to do now, he's got to cut that one. He's going to cut it one way. And I probably shouldn't have went this way because they're trimming the trees on this road here. But at any rate, I think what I'm going to do now, Charlotte's going to drive truck for us today. She had a doctor's appointment this morning. So what I'll do is I'll take her silage truck over, sharpen knives on the chopper, and she can ride over with one of the other truckers, and then maybe I'll get here in time to get you a little footage of the mowing operation here. But yeah, they're trimming this frickin' road. This road's a narrow son of a gun. They're knocking it down. They need to go up higher and get this stuff up higher. But, oh well. Alright. headed home here now, or I've just turned on to our home road. And let's send that to voicemail. Today's Monday. Friday they put the base down, and now they are putting the top coat down. And when we chopped here on Friday, and our guys were going in different directions just to not be in these guys' way, and then today we're gonna have to do the same thing. They'll get to the bottom down there, and then they'll turn around, drive their paver all the way up to the other end and start up there. So they don't want us going across here. The damn guys come across with a freaking skid steer. So well, like I said, I was going to grab Charlotte's truck and take that to the field. My nephew is in here cutting right now, and it just so happens to work out that he is headed back this way. He is only cutting this going one direction because it is so heavy. So I'll let you guys get a glimpse of this operation, and then I've got to get to the chopper. So this is the 8R340, and my brother is up on the other field cutting up there. Yeah, that'll give you an idea of what that looks like. So we need to get to the chopper. As you can see, this is pretty heavy in here, and it's laid down. So that'll give you an idea of what that looks like. Quick glimpse. The size of those windrows. I think this is as heavy as what first cotton was. All right. About the time we get up to the main road here, he'll be to the end of the field. And then he'll run it back the other way. Well, he's almost to the end. That's going to be some heavy hay in there. Alright, we'll get to the chopper, and I've got to sharpen knives yet. I moved the chopper here an hour and a half ago. I was going to sharpen the knives then, but I didn't want to leave the chopper. Didn't want to leave it after I sharpened the knives. I did blow it off last night, but you could have a little pile of chaff like that catch on fire. Then it burns off grease lines or something. Several guys have come to their chopper the next day and have discovered that they had little smoldering fires on it the night before, and they burned themselves out, but then they've got wires that are all burned up, and grease lines that are burned off. So that can be a problem. So we've got a farm to our left here on Route 5, and then we've got hay right over there to do. When we were in that field earlier where Lukens was flipping windrows, he's got that done now. So that should allow that to dry out a little faster, but not much. It's not like tipping windrows over with a rake or something. You tip windrows over with a rake and you can directly put the bottoms up. The merger doesn't really do that. It just kind of handles it, twists it up, and flops it around is all. So this crew that's working on this job here is the crew that did the excavation at our farm. They're adding on. This is Hudson's Egg Farm here. They're doing some kind of expansion there. So the field that we're at is just a few miles up the road here, another mile and a half. Well, this is where the chopper is at. We had a pin come out of the crop shield, and I had to put that pin in earlier, and I've got a bolt to muster in on that. Timothy is here. Like he has been here for a while. We'll get knives sharpened. We'll load inoculant, and then we can get moving. I'd like to get to the chopper before trucks are here so that I can be ready. We'll get things going, and we'll show you what pin came out of that head. Well, we'll jump up in here. You can hear Andrew. Looks like he's going to be far enough ahead of us here that we can leave just one merger going. He's got a few acres left here. Then he's got about 60 acres that he did yesterday that got wet. Go in here. Let's see, the last cycle that I did yesterday was only 10 because we had that problem where the stone got caught. We'll leave it at 20. It'll go 20 with advancing the stone, and then it will do 23 strokes where it's not doing anything. Now, we started this up this morning, and I adjusted the stone, or I adjusted it. Like, I thought it was advancing too much. I had a problem with this yesterday. Got locked over on this side, and then we recalibrated, and then I had a problem with not finishing the calibration, and that's maybe a little too aggressive. This pin here come out yesterday. It didn't come out all the way, and we adjusted it in. this morning, and Andrew broke off the greaser. I gotta see if I can get a bolt in there. Yep, went right in there, Timothy. That's all it took.
All kinds of things in your pocket.
I do. Got a couple of nuts here somewhere.
Yeah, just make sure you get the right size one. And a cockeyed in there. I don't know if.
Yeah, just make sure that
real close on this side.
Yeah, just make sure that washer doesn't fall
Will I
off.
be able to push it up, make it better, or?
It's gonna just barely go on.
It's a little better now. I can get at it pretty good here if you got a nut that'll fit that.
Yeah, they get it.
You got the back?
Yeah. There. Mucho good. Yeah, that's good. We'll leave it.
Leave it and watch it.
Yeah. All right, we've got the knives sharpened. We've got that bolt in that pin. Hold that in place. The shear bar set. So we should be golden. We have to make sure our neck goes up and down anyways. We had that problem yesterday with the calibration not finalizing. Okay, so we'll have to keep an eye on that pin, on that crop shield, make sure that pin stays in. It was half out of the hole yesterday and I could not move that back into place. I had Andrew help me with it this morning. To be honest with you, I forgot about it. Over here merging, I pulled in the field and he had some tools with him, but I lacked a bolt. It takes an M6 bolt nut. I put a 1/4 inch bolt in there and he broke the grease zerk off, putting a pry bar in there, so we got to dig out a grease zerk at some point in time here. So we're going to start on one side of the road, move to the other, and then we'll be into, once we get this farm done, we'll be into the hay that Lucan's tipped over. So once we get into that, we'll kind of give you an idea of what the moisture is on that. We want to target right around 60%. I don't like being too much wetter than 60% moisture, because it starts to crowd 65 or so, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh boy, there's some 66s and 8s here, and we maybe should wait a little while. At least when it's at 60, you know that you just go and you don't slow down. Alright, we're just getting started. This got caught yesterday morning. We've got a little bit of a rain shower on it here last night. It was merged about an hour and a half ago. And we're running right around 58, 59, 60%. 60-ish percent. And we're 19% protein. Coming in at about 3 tons of the acre. 3.5, 3.25, somewhere around there. Farm done, and then we'll get into that hay that was merged yesterday. They got more rain there than they got here. I checked this last night, and you could clearly see that the stubble was even still somewhat dry here. And the other field, I could tell that they had got more rain there. And we'll just see what the difference is in moisture, being that we had hay all merged up, but it's less real estate once you have it in a windrow, and you get a rain shower like that. There's not as much material that's going to get wet on you versus it all laid out in a thin layer. If it pours down rain, say if you get 1.5 inches or 2 inches of rain on merged hay, that's bad. So when it's merged up and you get just a little rain shower, that's better than yeah. So this moisture is just right on this. Got into this field here that was merged before the rain. They got rained on, and it is 55, 56, 57, yeah, it's about 58% moisture. So flipping it over definitely helped. And we'll just keep on keeping on here. I brought a truck with me from the other farm, and all I had to do is load the front with him. And then we've got Alex on deck here. So Andrew just went by with the merger. Hey, Alex, you could pick up Andrew at Forward Road unless Tim grabs him.
I'm right here. Tim will be in time.
Alright, so Andrew's going to park his merger for the night. And we'll merge that. What do you guys see? My brother and my nephew cut. Merge that in the morning. that hay was real heavy where they were. So automated plug prevention tripped on that one. A little bit of a wad from handling this with the merger to flip it over. This is getting into 64% moisture here, so alright, so we're just going to keep plugging away here and we'll see how things go here the rest of the day.